Resident Evil Reverse, the new multiplayer Resident Evil game, came out early today if you already owned Resident Evil Village. And I just spent the better part of today playing it, and I'm about to give you my thoughts, give you some pros and cons, show you some gameplay, but before I do that, consider subscribing. I do TV show discussions, movie discussions, trailer reactions, and of course, gaming videos, specifically survival horror gaming, which I absolutely love. I have a Resident Evil playlist on this page that you should definitely check out. I did a Resident Evil Village third-person gameplay impressions. You should check that out. But anyway, enough talking. Let's see some gameplay. Let's talk about Reverse. So let's get this out of the way. I say this in every one of my Resident Evil videos, but I know there's new people watching these uploads who may not have heard this before, but I absolutely love Resident Evil. It's my favorite video game franchise of all time, so needless to say, I was hyped as hell when I loaded into Reverse for the first time, because obviously Resident Evil is a single player experience, but I've loved every, bonus Resident Evil content there's been. Any Mercenaries mode, any secondary storyline, any bonus content. Hell, Resident Evil Resistance that came out for Resident Evil 3 remake that not a lot of people liked, I loved and I was addicted to. So yes, I was looking forward to this. Like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be some pros and cons in this video, but first I want to talk about gameplay, and then afterwards I'm going to talk about Battle Pass, cosmetic, credits, that sort of thing, and see if I think this game is overall gonna be good. So let's get right into gameplay. When I loaded into my first match, I was still hyped as fuck, and then that was almost immediately squashed, though not for long. But at first I thought that this game was gonna be terrible based on my first match. The first thing you notice right away is that the gameplay in this game is incredibly fast-paced. I mean, sometimes you spawn and then you die immediately. The gameplay is immediately overwhelming. It is so incredibly fast-paced that it sometimes makes Call of Duty games feel tactical. The overall gist of the game is it's basically a free-for-all, just see who can get as many points as they can, and then you get points by killing people, and you get bonus points by getting kill streaks. You choose a human character, and then if you die in the game, you become a monster, and then when your monster dies, you respawn as the human, and then monster, and then human, and then monster. And yes, I know I suck at this game. I honestly suck at most games, but there is clearly some balancing issues that need to be worked out. But that overall disappointment that I felt did not last long, because once you start to understand the way the game should be played, once you can sort of embrace that fast-paced aspect of this game, it's honestly really, really fun. Once you learn how to use your dodge mechanics correctly, once you get the gist of everyone's abilities, once you know to pick up those special weapons, and once you understand that a huge aspect of this game to win is to go after the person that killed you, revenge is a huge, huge aspect of this game, and it honestly makes it really, really fun, always trying to get revenge on whoever murdered you. But still, like I mentioned, there's clearly some balancing issues that need to be fixed. Like sometimes you can be hit by an enemy and then your character will stumble and you can't even recover. The enemy will just hit you over and over and over again, and there's just absolutely nothing you can do to counteract. There's absolutely no defense half the time, it feels like, which kind of makes it not fun, but again, it's fun when you get to do it to someone else. Sometimes it feels like you can shoot someone point blank with a shotgun 5, 6, 7 times, and then they turn around and one-shot you with a pistol. So when the game launches, there's 6 human characters you get to play as. You get to play as Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, Hunk, and then Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, and Ada. And each character has their own unique abilities, which is honestly pretty fun. Like, Leon has his roundhouse kick, and then he has his dual-wielding pistols. Chris has the ability to boulder punch people, as well as this indestructible perk where you, click L1 if you're playing on the PS5, and he's unkillable for about 5 seconds. It feels very anime, but I guess if it matches any character, it would be Chris. Claire has a shock grenade, Jill has some landmines, so each character has this unique ability, but also each character has their own unique weapon. And I'm honestly not sure how I feel about this aspect of the game. On one hand, I think it's pretty cool knowing that the characters have the weapons that are most iconic to them. But on the other hand, it's kind of annoying because I like Ada. I like how Ada looks. I would like to play as Ada more often, but I really, really don't like using that crossbow. That crossbow is so difficult for me to use. So part of me wishes you could just equip any weapon with any character and then just let the abilities be the character unique items. But in the end, I feel like I'll get used to it. And when I first started playing this game, I thought that the humans would be the only fun aspect of the game, and I would dread playing as the monsters, the creatures. But I am glad to say that that is not the case. And honestly, my favorite character to play as so far is Jack Baker. Using that dual-wielded chainsaw, just flying it around like a crazy madman, taking out multiple people at once is so satisfying. And there's so many hilarious moments due to the infected enemies in this game that it makes it honestly worth it to play it in the first place. Like, it's so funny seeing 3 Jack Bakers fighting each other in the lobby of the RPD, and it's so funny seeing hunters chase after a nemesis thinking that they'll win, and it's even funnier when they do win. Now let's talk about the other aspect of this game: skins, the battle pass, cosmetics, and credits. Some characters have a decent amount of skins, others not so much. For example, Chris, you can be the actual Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 8 Village, or you can get, for credits, Chris from Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, where he looks nothing like himself. Ada has 3 different skins, Claire has 2. For some reason, Jill only has 1 skin, which is really stressful because I would love to play as Jill from, you know, her Resident Evil 1 outfit, or honestly even her battle suit from Resident Evil 5 would be really, really cool. But I can understand why they didn't include those. They probably want to have those as part of the battle pass in the future, or whatever. Each character just begins with 1 skin though, and I immediately looked at Chris and I looked at his cosmetics, and I saw that immediately his village outfit was unlocked. And then I noticed that you could buy the Resident Evil 7 Chris skin for 12,000 credits. And right then I kind of scratched my head because I wasn't sure how that was going to work. 12,000 credits seems like a lot, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be premium credits that you have to pay real money for, or if it was going to be in-game currency. And if it was in-game currency, I wasn't sure if it was going to give you a pathetically small amount in-game to try and force you to pay for it with real money. But you start the game with 6,000 credits, and then by the time I played 5, 6, maybe 7 rounds, I already had 12,000. So I'm really thankful to see that you earn credits very fast and very easy in this game, and that most of the cosmetics you can actually buy with in-game credits. That's really, really cool. I just hope it stays that way come its official launch. And then obviously there's other cosmetics that are tied to the battle pass, and I couldn't buy the battle pass. I couldn't even see how much the battle pass was until it officially launches on the 28th. So unfortunately, I can't tell you if I think the battle pass is really worth it. I can tell you that the battle pass didn't look like it had any pay to win stuff. It was all cosmetics, all skins, weapon charms, emotes, that sort of thing. And honestly, I'll probably get the battle pass if it's a reasonable price, but even if it's like $10, that might be too much for a game like this, especially since I really don't know the longevity of this game. One aspect of this game is coins, and you equip different coins on different characters to give them perks and buffs when you play. Like, some give you more HP, some give you more health when you pick up herbs, that sort of thing. And there are some of these coins that I saw are linked to the free battle pass, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Because on one hand, it is on the free battle pass, so it's not technically pay to win, but on the other hand, it's kind of weird adding in-game buffs as linked to anything with the term battle pass. That's really kind of sketchy. But as of right now, I'm just thankful they're not part of the paid battle pass, because that would just be clear and cut, pay to win, and I would not be happy. But anyway, that's my quick and brief thoughts on ReVerse after playing it for just today. I'm going to talk about this game more in the future, and I'm going to talk about Resident Evil as a franchise in general more on this page, survival horror games in general. What do you think of ReVerse so far? Do you think this game is going to stick around for a while, or do you think it's going to be dead in 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching, especially if you watched this far.